So the ratings are in, the viewership is in for the DNC convention. And folks, I got to tell you, I watched bits and pieces of this. This was worse, or this is worse because it's still going on now. This is worse than a Jerry Lewis telethon, a scripted Jerry Lewis telethon. Speech after speech after speech, and no policies, by the way. It was all orange man bad. And I didn't vote for Trump. Now, they did have a lot of viewers tuning in compared to 2020, I believe it was. So I'm going to go through the numbers with you here. Welcome back to the channel, Culture Confederacy here. It's Wednesday night, storming where I'm at. Got a severe thunderstorm going on. So I've got some info here for you at the Daily Beast. Also information over at Newsweek. So according to the Daily Beast, and by the way, if you're new to the channel, no fancy graphics, epic soundtracks, pretty boy camera angles, it's Yumi the smartphone. They go, Yumi the smartphone. No, Yumi my smartphone. The news of the day, and this crusade, this mission to preserve great art, music, history, and culture. That's what we do on the channel. So according to the Daily Beast, DNC convention viewership Tuesday night brought in 20 million viewers, or just over 20 million. This compared to the RNC's 14 million. That's a 39% difference. And they had 500,000 more viewers the second night than the first night for the DNC. Now, generally speaking, on the second night, viewership drops off. But this convention, 2024, for the DNC, is the first convention to have a higher ratings on its second night in a decade. And it seems that the big draw were the speeches by Barack and Michelle Obama, which again was all about Orange Man bad. Well, Trump has not been in office for the past 4 years. Why are they going after Biden? Oh yeah, because Biden's a Democrat. But they just pushed Biden out of a window, right? Shoved him in a room somewhere, giving him the drugs to keep him alive. Now, according to Newsweek, also reporting 20 million, outdoing this RNC convention in July. But back in 2020, according to Newsweek, the DNC had an audience of 19.7 million when Biden ran for office. And the RNC convention here at 18.1 million people tuning in this election cycle. But interestingly, that only includes viewership from networks like ABC, NBC, CNN, all the majors. Does not include streaming services. So this is the Nielsen ratings here. But the question is, will the DNC's final night beat the RNC's 25.4 million? And there were 28.4 million that tuned in to listen to Trump's speech between 10:45 and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's another thing, too. They're pushing these speeches back at the DNC for Barack and Michelle Obama, for Biden, whoever, late into the night. Now, maybe they're doing that to catch viewers in the Central Time Zone, Pacific Time Zone. So that could be a possibility. Seen a lot of scrutiny, though, from Fox News or wherever, or on CNN. Why are they pushing back these speeches by Joe Biden or the Obamas? That's probably what it is to get more viewers in the Central and Pacific Time Zone. But Barack Obama's speech only saw 21.9 million compared to Trump's 20.4 million. A lot of figures to go through tonight. Now, I went and I checked here on YouTube, and currently, ABC8 Chicago has 20,000 people watching. We call it streaming. PBS 40,000 and the AP 7.4 thousand. I'm sure there's more as the night goes on that will tune in. But that's the current numbers that I could find here on YouTube of people streaming, if you will, here on YouTube, watching this online. But my question is, if you add this all together, you have 28.4 million viewers for the RNC, for Trump's speech. You have 20 point, whatever it is, million viewers for the DNC. If you add this together, it's roughly about 50 million, 48 to 50 million, depending on how many people watching at the time. Why should roughly 50 million people be deciding who our president is? It's time, I think, we do away with this two-party system. Maybe I should have made this a video about the two-party system, and I was doing some research about that for the video, but that's for another place, another time. But needless to say, political parties aren't mentioned. They're not required by the Constitution, so why do we have them? Well, just to give you a brief synopsis here. It goes back to shortly after the election, I believe, of 1800. Now, when George Washington was elected, we didn't have political parties at that time. In fact, George Washington was not part of a political party. He may have had some factions, but not actual political parties. And you had Alexander Hamilton and James Madison, who both railed against political parties, but Alexander Hamilton ended up becoming part of the Federalist Party, which wanted more centralized power. And James Madison, along with Thomas Jefferson, became part of the Anti-Federalist Party, later known as the Democrat-Republican Party. And we really didn't have the formation of these two main parties till the 1850s, leading up to the Civil War. But back around 1860, 1861, on the eve of the Civil War, the Democrats in the South were actually the conservatives, believe it or not. And the Republicans were the progressives. But I don't think we need political parties anymore. I think they're archaic. They gum up the works. And it doesn't represent the, if we've got 50 million people watching, let's say that maybe the number's higher when it comes time for the election. Because you have people who are diehard, watch these conventions, who are diehard Democrats or Republicans. That's really what these conventions are for. They're all just rah-rah rallies. That's what it is. Make people feel good about themselves. Never about policy. It's all about the party. And Terry Moran at ABC News, unknowingly, Terry Moran, I saw this when I was at work the other night, let it out of the bag. He let it out of the bag. He said, Joe Biden has been the leader of this party for X amount of years. Well, wait a minute. I thought that as the president of the United States, he's supposed to represent all of us, all American citizens. So he shouldn't be the leader of a party. He should be the leader of the United States if he's the president. But I go back to this again. If we're supposed to have a balance of power between these three branches of the government, legislative, judicial, executive, why do we put so much emphasis on the executive? Something's a little off there. Just saying. Hey, I'm trying to figure it out like everybody else. But wanted to talk about this tonight. That's the latest with the numbers. Tell me what you think in the comments section below. Thank you for being with me. Hope you enjoyed the video. Another one take type. So I try to do these videos, be more authentic, real with the audience. It is what it is. So if I make a mistake, oh well. Who says you need to be perfect here on YouTube or have fancy graphics, epic soundtracks, or pretty boy camera angles? We don't do that here. So thanks for being with me. I'll catch you next time. You can catch me at X, Culture Confederacy, at Culture Confed1 on X. Or go to Instagram, hashtag Jason Composes, because I write music in my spare time. And you can also find me at Substack. Start writing some more articles on Substack. So thank you again for watching. It's a great honor to do these videos. I'm learning as I go. I'm just a regular guy out here. I don't claim to be anybody that I'm not. So that's why I want to keep it real with my audience and tell your friends about the channel. And I just have a blast doing this channel. Just have a lot of fun doing this thing called the Culture Confederacy. And I hope you're having fun too. And I never know what I'm going to talk about. That's what makes this channel so interesting. And it's just an adventure. It is. I never know what direction it's going to take me. So I'll catch you next time, and y'all have a great Wednesday night.